Hello guys, and welcome to this nice tutorial about the full SQL course for beginners. If you haven't already watched the first parts, you can find the link in the description. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about MySQL built-in functions, and more precisely, we are going to talk about the three different types that are shown here. So we have string functions, numeric functions, date and time functions. So we are going to start with string functions, and from the name, we can understand that these functions are used with strings. Our first function is the concatenation functions, which returns concatenated strings. For example, if you have two different strings and you want to concatenate them, so you write select, concat, and you write your two strings. So if we execute that, we'll get the following. So we'll get one single string. Same thing if you want to concatenate the two strings and you want to add space between them. So you write select, concat, you write your first string, you add space, then you write your second string. If we execute that, we'll get the space between the two strings. Same thing, you can increase the space and you get the following. Okay, so this is about the concatenation function. The second function is the left function, which returns the leftmost number of characters as specified. For example, you write select left, you write your string in here, then you specify the number of characters that you want to retrieve. So here we write this string and we want to get the three first or the three leftmost number of characters. If we execute that, we'll get the following. For example, we change it to 4, we'll get 4 strings. Then we have length. So length function returns the length of a string. And we can write select length, we add our string. If we execute that, we get the number of characters. For example, length, you can use it also in a where clause. For example, you want to select all the names where the number of characters equals to 5. Then we have lower function. So lower returns the string in lowercase. If you have your string in lowercase, so it will stay in lowercase. But if you have your string or your sentence in uppercase and you want to convert it to lowercase, so you write select lower and you add your string. So if we execute that, we'll get the string in lowercase. Okay? Then we have replace. So replace is used to replace a string in a sentence. Here the syntax is as follows. So you write select replace, you write here your sentence, here the string that you want to replace, and here you add your new string. Okay, so you write select replace your sentence or your list of characters, your string that you want to change, and here the new string. So if we execute that, we'll get data analysis. So we change science with analysis. Okay, so this is for the replace function. Then we have the reverse. So the reverse, it reverses the order of characters in a string. For example, here we have data science. If we like select reverse data science, we'll get the following. So we get the reverse. Okay, so the last will be the first and the first will be the last. Okay, here right is, as we have said, we have left, it returns the leftmost number of characters, and for the right, it returns the rightmost number of characters specified. Here, if we have our string, we say right string and we put here the number of characters. So if we execute that, we get the three rightmost number of characters. Okay, same thing if we want to get only 2, we execute that and we get the 2 rightmost number of characters. Then we have the string comparison. By default, as it is defined within the MySQL documentation, it returns 0 if the strings are the same, -1 if the first argument is smaller than the second argument according to the current sort order. So if we have the first is less or has less number of characters than the second, it will return -1. If both of them are null, it will return for us null. Okay, otherwise it will return 1. So if we execute that, we'll get 0 because the strings are the same. If the first argument is smaller than the second, so if the first is smaller than the second, it will get for us -1. If the first is greater, it will return for us 1. And if both of them are null, it will return for us null. Okay, same thing here. If we have the same number of characters and the words or the string are not the same, it will get for us 1. Okay, so this is for the string comparison, strcmp. Okay, after that we have substring or substr. It returns the substring of a string starting from the defined position. For example, for the leftmost if we write leftmost string 4, we select the 4 leftmost characters, but with the substring or substr, it is the same, okay? You will select the substring starting from the 4th position. So if we execute that, we'll get the following string. So 1, so D is 1, 2, 3, and it starts from 4, which is here. If we want to start from the space, write 5, and it will start from the space. So we have the space, then we have signs. So substring returns the substring of a string starting from the defined position, which is in here. So write substring, your string, then you add your position where you want to start. Okay? Then we have trim, which removes leading and trailing spaces and the specified characters from both sides. So by default, it will remove spaces from the left and from the right, or it removes the specified characters from both sides. So here, if we want to remove the space in the beginning and at the end, we execute the following. Here we have the string with the spaces. Now we write select trim and we want to remove the space from the beginning and the space at the end. It will give us the string directly. Okay? And also, if you have number of characters which are before a given string and after a given string and you want to remove them, you can write trim both, so z from the beginning and at the end as a result, and it will get for us the same string. Okay, so you can remove leading and trailing spaces and the specified characters from both sides. Okay, so this is, for example, we have specified, we remove z from the beginning and at the end by writing both z from our string, and it will get it as a result to give us the following. Same thing if we write just trim and we have space at the beginning and space at the end of word, so it will give us the word without spaces. For example, if we have only space at the beginning, okay, same thing, it will give us the same thing. All right, so by default it will remove the space at the beginning and at the end of the word. Finally, we have the upper function, which returns the string in uppercase. So it is the opposite of the lower. So if we have a string in lowercase and you want to convert it to uppercase, we write select upper and we add our string, so it will be converted directly to uppercase. Okay, so these are the most used string built-in functions within MySQL. And for more details, I will put the link to the official MySQL documentation about the built-in function. So now we go to the second type, which is numeric functions. So the first function is the absolute value function, which is ABS. So we write select ABS minus 66, for example. If we execute that, we get 66. Same thing, the absolute value of positive number is a positive number. The second function is CL, which returns the next integer, which is greater than this decimal number. So if we write select CL 2.1, to select for us 3. Even though if we have, for example, 2.001, okay, if we execute that, we get 3. Same thing for minus 2.1, it will get for us minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 is the next integer after minus 2.1. And same thing for 3, it is the next integer after this decimal number. Okay, then we have the integer division. So if we want to perform integer division, we write select first number divided by the second number. If we execute that, we get 2. Okay, so 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, but the integer is 2. Same thing, if we write select 9 division 2, it will be same thing 4. Okay, so 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 and the integer is 4. Then we have the exponential. Okay, so if we write select exponential of 0, it is 1. Exponential of 1, it is 2.7, etc. After that, we have the floor. So floor is the opposite of CL. CL, it returns for us the next integer, whereas for the floor, it will return for us the integer before the decimal number. So here we expect 2. Same thing here, we expect minus 3. And same thing here, for example, if we have 2.999, the integer before this number is 2. Okay, so the floor is the opposite of CL. Then we have the modulus or mod. Okay, so if I write select 10 modulus 2, it will give us 0. Okay, so because 10 divided by 2 is 5, whereas for the select 9 modulus 2, it will give us 1. And same thing, we can replace mod with the percentage sign. it is the same thing, and both of them are used for the modulus. All right. Then we have power or pow. Okay, so these two numbers are the same thing, so we use that for power numbers. For example, if we want to calculate 2 to the power 10, we write select power 2 to the power of 10. Okay, same thing. If we write pow or power, it is the same thing. So here it is the number, and here it is the power. So 2 to the power of 10. Okay. Then we have round. So round is used to round the numbers. If, for example, the decimal part exceeds 0.5, so 0.51, it will give us 3. Whereas if it is less than 50, so less than 5, the decimal part is less than 5, so it will give us 2. So round is used to round the number. Then we have square root. So sqrt is for the square root. So write select square root of 9. It will give for us 3. Finally, we have truncate. So truncate is used to truncate to specify number of decimal places. For example, here we have a number which has more than 4 numbers in the decimal part, and you want only to get 4 numbers in the decimal part. Okay, so write select truncate. We write here our decimal number, and here we write the total numbers that we want to have in the decimal part. So if we execute that, we'll get only 4 numbers. All right. So this is about the numeric functions. Now we'll talk about the third part, which is date and time functions. We'll start by the first function, which is now. So now function returns the current date and time at which the statement begins to execute. Okay, so begins to execute, because we have another function which is state, which returns the time at which it executes. Okay, so if we select now, we get the current time. Okay, and this example is from MySQL documentation. So we write now sleep 2, which means that we stay or we wait 2 seconds, then we execute now, which is our function, the second time. So if we execute that, we get the same time. Okay, so we have here 12:56:19, 12:56:19. Okay, now returns the current date and time at which the statement begins to execute, whereas sysdate returns the time at which it executes. Okay, so we have here the same time, but if we execute sysdate sleep 2, so we wait 2 seconds, then we execute another time sysdate, we get the following. As you can see here, so we have 57, then we have 59. Okay, whereas for now we have exactly the same. Okay, we have the same time, right? So this is for now and sysdate. We can also use current date to return the current date. Okay, so we have the current date. Same thing for the current time. And now if we want to practice with some other functions, so I'm going to use the scikit database. Okay, and when we select all from film, we can see that there is a column which has last update. So here we have the date and the time, right? Now if we want to select only the seconds in this column, so we write select second, so we write the name of the column from film, from our table. So if we execute that, we get the second for each row in the column which is called last update from table film. Same thing if we want to select only the minutes, so we write select minute last update from film. So we have the minute, then we have the hour to select the hour, to return the day name. Okay, so we write select day name, the name of the column from our table. So get the name, it is Wednesday. The week, so it returns the week. Same thing for the month. And also if we want to select the month name, so write select month name, our column from our table. So it is February. Same thing, we have year, so select year, our column from our table. And we have the timestamp, so write select timestamp, the name of the column from our table. When we execute that, we get the date and the time. Okay. Finally, we have that diff, which is used to subtract two dates, and the result will be in days, right? For example, we want to calculate the difference between now and the date in the last update, column from film table. So here I used subquery, okay, because if you want to execute that alone, so copy and paste that. So we'll have the column. And if we put all that in here, so we'll get an error which says we cannot do that because it returns more than one row. This is why we used limit. Okay. So if I write limit 1 here, we get only one value. And for now, we have seen that it selects the date of today and the time. When we do the date difference, so it will calculate the difference between now and this date. Okay. And the result will be in days, as you can see here. So we have our result in days. Or if you want to get it in, for example, months, we can divide by 30, for example. Same thing for years. Okay, so this is about the most used date and time functions. And here we have the official documentation for the built-in functions in MySQL and operators. Okay, here, for example, if you are looking for date and time functions, you can select date and time functions, numeric functions, string functions. Okay, so we'll have here the totality of the functions of the built-in functions defined within MySQL for date and time, numeric, and string functions. Okay, so that's it for the MySQL built-in functions. I hope that you have learned new things. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.